Welcome to the live. I am Coach Sherry, and this is day 88 of my 90 days going live challenge. Thank you so much for being here in the live. And for those of you who are watching this on replay, welcome. I appreciate you for stopping by. And please leave me a comment and let me know that you had checked me out. Well, this channel, if you are new, is about workforce development, career readiness, entrepreneurship, real life, real issues, and real talk. And while this is my live, this is also my Real Talk with Coach Sherry podcast. I do have a playlist for both. So if you want to catch up on some of my content and try to figure out who is this Coach Sherry, I recommend and I am greatly appreciated if you would check out one or many of my playlists. I see Slasher Chick is in the building. I was playing Double Dutch trying to wait and see if you were going live. Oh my goodness. I'm glad to see you here. Thank you for tuning in. And that is my accountability partner. That's what I'm calling her for doing this challenge. And, there's been some long days, some tough days, some out of town days, but during this process, it definitely has proven that, your will, if you want to accomplish and achieve something, you will have stick to itness and you will accomplish your goals. You just definitely have to take the time out and be intentional and understand that you have something to accomplish. All right, I'm going to check you out. She has gone live. I encourage you all to pick her up, grab her up, check her out. She has completed her day 85 of going live every day for 90 days. And I am very proud of you. That is awesome. Put some claps in the chat for you. I'm going to definitely check out your replay. So, listen, I do my videos not just for you, but for me, and of course, first and foremost, for my future's future, that one day may see one of my videos and stumble upon it because they're going through something that's similar to what I'm talking about. And it'll be like, wow, that's great grandma or great auntie or whatever the case may be. And what she went through in 2024, I am finding myself going through the same thing in 3024 or whatever the year will be. But this is for my futures, my legacies. And so I really am intentional with bringing you content that is going to be relevant, content that you can find value in. And even if it's just sharing with you places that I've been, I hope you've been grabbing up my Biltmore Estate tour videos. I had enjoyed myself. Ooh-wee. And if you are not able to go to Asheville, trust and believe, I tried to capture every crevice of it for you. But this is definitely for, my legacy. This is legacy work. And you know what? When I was sharing my modified version of my goal planner, because I don't know if you knew this, Slasher Chick, but and I think I did tell you that I have a 25-page workbook. And of course, you know that I'm developing it. But someone was saying when I was sharing my 25 pager with them that it was a legacy blueprint. And I love that it is in the written form. I mean, I will have a digital format for it as well, but I love that it is paper to pen, pen to paper, because I think about documents like this, especially after my mother passed away and gathering her things, putting her things out, and looking through them, trying to find remnants of her. And I know the couple of years prior to her even becoming really sick, where I had to become her primary caregiver, I just knew, you know what? Let me hold on to these birthday cards, to these anniversary cards, to these letters of her handwriting. Because as she was progressing, and this is before her diagnosis had happened, because it took a while for her to become diagnosed with ALS. Her handwriting started to get shaky, and my mother always had beautiful, beautiful handwriting. And just before it got to the point where she really couldn't write too much, I saved those cards with her beautiful handwriting, her beautiful script, her penmanship, her writing. And so as I was going through her things and noticed, things that she had written down and notes to herself and thoughts that she had, I found those to be so treasurable. Because if it was all on technology, if it was all maybe in a phone or iCloud or something like that, it's not it doesn't hit the same as seeing that pen to paper, that stroke that she made, while she was writing it, that pause, that piece of ink, that dot of ink that just was a little bit darker than other parts of that letter, maybe because she paused right there, maybe she had second thoughts of what she was going to put down. You just can only imagine, what was going on. So these types of things like this planner, goal strategies, I look at that as for my legacy. So when a client said, you know what, Coach Sherry, this is a legacy blueprint, I was like, that is so deep. Oh my goodness. I really love that. And somehow I'm going to incorporate that in my title. Maybe I'm going to rearrange it to be my title, but I love it. Legacy Blueprint, because that's the blueprint to life. Imagine if you had the blueprint of how your great grandmother, you know, went about doing something, planning an event, or if she had her own business, starting her own business back in the 1920s. But the same things that she went through to create it back then were still relevant today. You could take bits and pieces of it, but just even reading about maybe their struggle, the challenges that they had to overcome, it'll make you look at your own situation and say, you know what, this is not that bad. So, but today, physical energy. Let me tell you. Let me see. The basement. Okay, let me rewind a little bit and just chill out and relax and be here with you all in the chat for a moment. That basement slasher chick, what? It was like a whole nother building within itself. It had so many long corridors, and it was unbelievable. And I was thinking about the servants, and it gets cold up in Asheville. And I know back in the day, it got really cold because now with global warming and everything, it doesn't get as cold. They don't get as much snow as they used to. But I can only imagine how cold that basement used to be in the winter, especially because heat was not like it is today. And that's why I believe they had like 35 fireplaces. But when I think about it, I definitely didn't see any fireplaces like in the servants' quarters. However, I know with the kitchen and the ovens and things like that, maybe it kept the basement warm when they were on, because even on Saturday, with it being 89 degrees, Asheville itself was not humid. Even though it was 89 degrees, it felt more like 82, 78 degrees because it was not humid because of all the mountains. It's surrounded by the Blue Ridge Appalachian Mountains, so it's never going to be scorching hot like that. And so even on that day, the basement was cool. And I'm like, man, I bet you those servants used to be freezing. Oh my goodness, at night. But yeah, that basement, I mean, the indoor pool, the bowling alley, the I was wondering like, why do they have all these dressing rooms? And I wonder if back in the day, if it was mixed with men, for men and women, because first of all, the Vanderbilts, it was just the husband, the wife, and they had a baby daughter. So it wasn't like they had this huge family. They had a lot of extended family. They probably came and visit often, but I'm sure to even get there to visit was a real journey. I know that they built a railroad station or tracks through that property so that when they were building the house, they could bring the materials. But I wonder if that train still ran and brought passengers to visit as well. And yeah, you can visit that Biltmore Estate. I mean, I would say probably just numerous times. And I'm actually low key apologetic for going live inside because they needed to really explain that to me a little bit better. They should have said, you know what? We prefer you not to go live. And really, it's nothing against what you're doing. It's just that because we don't have internet service, the quality is not going to be where it should be. That's why we do allow videos and photos, but just not live videos. They really should have told me that, because when I look back on my lives that I did, I was like, yo, and it was crazy because when I was looking through my phone, because that's what I had my phone, it looked perfect. Everything looked so vibrant. It actually looked even better through my phone than it did, with me just looking at things as I was going. And I was so excited to share that with everyone, thinking, oh, they're going to get a good view of everything going on in this house. And then when I looked, and I was all blurry, and I was like, oh my goodness. But then, as you can see, the quality was different in the basement because that was a pre-record. I didn't go live. So I will be going back, and I planned on anyway going back even more. And next time I'm going to do a pre-recorded video for sure. Oh, you do? You love that title? Thank you. I'm definitely, rolling it over, thinking about it more and more. Oh yeah, and oh my goodness, the last time I went to Biltmore was during the Christmas holidays, and it was so amazing, and it wasn't really that cold again. I don't even think I wore a heavy coat, and I stayed there for about 3 days, and the lights and just everything on the property was spectacular. It was spectacular. I know it. They weren't clear, but you know what? I'm gonna keep them up. I look, dare to dream and have an imagination. So I just hope as people are watching them that they get the gist of it. But I'm gonna have to go back just because of that. I'm going to go back. um, by the I mean the staff, not your stream. Okay, I get it. Yes, the basement video is very much better. Yeah, good. I'm glad. And people from all over the world, they visit Biltmore Estates. Over 1 million people a year go to visit there. And so I'm really happy to have it so close to home. I mean, that's an easy day trip. It's only like a 2-hour drive, but it's an easy drive. No tolls. The highway is really pleasant. The scenery is beautiful. You could put an audio book in, or if you have your family with you or friends, you can have great conversations, or you can make phone calls to people that you are trying to reconnect with. There's a lot you can do, and 2 hours go by really, really fast. But I feel very fortunate to be that close to it for sure. But I wanted to talk about, how is your physical energy? Now, for me, when I start to feel drained, I know it's time for me to go to the beach. The beach gives me so much energy, the waves. I love being in the ocean. Oh, when I was younger and didn't know any better, I used to go so far out in the ocean, y'all. Oh, and I would have a little bit of hair raise, because you kind of pushing the envelope a little bit, but I still would do it. Now I'm more cautious, but even that, heck, sharks come close to shore now, but I love the ocean. I love the ocean water, and of course, my favorite beach, my favorite place is Destin, Florida, and I talk about it to everyone, and it just, I don't know. And I probably shouldn't talk about it to everyone, because now I've been going there for over 25 years, but now more and more people are starting to go from all over. Before, back in the day, all you would see were like Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia license plates. And now you see New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania. And I'm like, wait a minute. They don't come here. They go to Virginia Beach, Myrtle Beach, Hilton Head, Savannah, not down here. But now they're starting to venture down further to Destin, and Destin is a dream. If you are listening in from the United States, I promise it is, for me, thus far, is the most beautiful beach in the United States. And when I start feeling like I'm feeling now, just kind of drained, and just my mental capacity is at its limit, I start thinking about, okay, it's time for me to go to Destin, and I'll be there really soon. So I'm looking forward to it, and it gives me something also to look forward to. Destin is that type of place. I don't even need anyone with me. It was a great place, especially when my husband used to travel, because it's very, not, I don't want to say private, but it's very people don't bother you. You can meet people if you want to, but it's not one of those places where everyone is just saying hi. And I don't prefer to have like a lot of conversation when I go on vacations. And when my husband used to travel, even now, I know if he traveled, he just looks like he still plays ball or had played ball. And so people always are coming up to him like, do you play ball? Did you play ball? Or, when he was younger, do you play ball? Because he just looks like it. And I mean, and I get it, but at the same time, we're just trying to chill and relax. And so I always used to try to find places that were more secluded and off the grid, off the beaten path. And back in the day, that's what Destin was. Now it's not so much, but even now, people still kind of, stick to themselves, and they're just there to enjoy the sand and the water and the whatnots that are there. They're not there to make new friends and, meet new people necessarily. Sometimes you can strike up a conversation if you want to, but if you don't, no one takes it personal. It's not like, oh, they're, you know, some kind of way or whatever. It's just is what it is. So I was kind of digging through my old notes. I have a whole like filing cabinet filled of tremendous coaching material that I used. And I'm so glad that I documented it all when I used to do, especially group life coaching with women. And I stumbled upon the physical energy theme that I had going on. And it was a whole series of different, types of energy that we experience in life. And physical energy is just one of them. And you know what? I'm going to play a little bit of music for just a second because I am going to upload a picture that I wanted to also share with you. All right. Okay. So, this physical energy is something that when you are starting to feel burnt out, you need to consider three things that are going on in and or around you. And so I wanted to just kind of go over some of the information about the your physical energy and how it's influenced by three things: your work environment, your home environment, and your physical level of health and well being. And even if one of these three items is out of whack, it can wear you down and cause you to waste time and energy getting things done. And if all three are out of balance, well, let's let's put it like this. That even a good day isn't going to be all that good, you know? Have you ever had that time when you you knew everything was were planned out perfectly. Everything was lined up well. The every it wasn't too hot outside, wasn't too cold. You weren't rushing, but you still felt very drained. You just wasn't yourself. You just was not at your peak. Well, that's when you have to realize that your physical energy may be out of tune, and it may be out of tune on all three cylinders: home, work, and health. And so when you realize that, you need to really pause and take a reflection of what can I do to make this all go back into balance. Now, I know for me, these past couple of weeks, I want to say this past month, no, these past couple of months have been a tremendous roller coaster ride. But it was one of those roller coaster rides where you get on the roller coaster and you know that there's going to be some tremendous dips and turns in it. But you don't expect that dip to be that first thing when you first buckle in, and that first move is a serious drop. You don't expect that, and then that incline, and then another drop. And all drops aren't bad. The peaks and valleys of life are not always bad. It's just sudden and unexpected sometimes. And that's what I have been feeling over and over these past few months, because so many things have been occurring, and it was all great things, but they all made me pause for a moment to realize what was going on and to be able to pivot and move to that next level. And it goes into everything regarding my youngest of three graduating, and navigating her next steps, and talking her through that process. Also with changing my office, and getting actually going to another level of things of what I do, and still producing the things that I produce on a daily basis. And sometimes when you work directly with people, or do things as a service, you can't use what's going on in your life as an excuse for anything. They don't get it. They have their own things they're going through, and you are providing a service that they need, so you have to keep things moving. And I actually, especially when I was younger, I used to thrive off of that type of energy. Like, oh, I got all these things going on, boom, boom, let me go here, let me go there. Oh, this changed up. Oh, let me pivot. I used to be really, really good. I used to thrive off of that. And now I'm feeling like I can still thrive. It still does give me that rush, but I need to like shut it down. I need to wind down more often. I'm finding myself having to really pause and take those breaks in between situations. And so, right, slasher chick. And so, it's interesting because in my new space, my new office is the polar opposite of my old office. However, it still is very functional. I love it. It still has a vibe to it, I feel. It's just that my other office had a darker tone. It was more of a mellow kind of feel. My lighting was yellow and low. My furniture was darker. It was more cozy. I feel like the ceilings may have been lower. It was just something about it was just different, and it helped with my creative juices. It helped calm me down whenever I was in there. It just was a very relaxing type of vibe. And my current office is brighter. My windows are tremendous and my view is spectacular. And, the lighting is bright and there's no dimness at all in my office. And I feel like my creative juices are flowing in a way, like mentally my creative juices are flowing like they used to flow 20 years ago. I feel like I'm doing things with even more excellence, and it's almost like I'm remembering who I used to be 20 years ago, if that makes sense. Wow. And if I look, you old if you was grown 20 years ago, like what? But when I'm thinking about it, even just now, just talking it out with you, when I'm thinking about it, it's like, I have a project, and I'm doing it the way it's done. I'm doing it the way maybe the entire team has been moving. It's a collaboration. So, everyone has a part. Everyone is supposed to, be that person that can make it happen. And then it's like, but wait, no, I know an even doper way to, make this really fly real high. Like, let me do this. And when I do it, I could do it in minutes. It doesn't even take me that long to think about it. And low key, I don't want to say it makes me nervous as this is happening. Like literally this has happened to me like every day this week was with something where, oh, hold on, like, I know how to do that. And I'll just knock it out in like a minute, like 10 minutes, I'm done. Whereas most people would have to take hours to even conceptualize it and then wrap their arms around it for that particular project. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but that office, that brightness that it has, that high energy, it is making my creative juices flow like no other, like a young woman. And not saying that I'm not young. Don't get that don't get that twisted. I'm more seasoned now, but I do know I have to give myself time to recover. So I'm jumping in and I'm doing my thing. But then when I have to jump out, I have to jump all the way out. I have to jump out. I have to go into the house. I have to get a drink of water. I have to sit down for a second in the air condition. I have to really like allow myself to recover because I don't want to get burnt out. I need to protect my energy, my physical, emotional, mental, all that. I need to protect it. So I need to, just calm down. I had talked about that the other day, how, sometimes when I'm doing presentations and I'm talking about something I love and that I know like the back of my hand, which is anything that I present on typically. But sometimes, especially if I can look in the audience faces and know that I'm providing them with information they never heard of and they are really intent on listening, I get excited. And then I'll be like, oh, you know what, Sherry, calm down. Just relax. We're gonna get through this. And they they typically will laugh when I say that because they're like, wait, like she's really into this too. And I am. I'm not scripted. It's what I do. So, I don't know. So today, because I started feeling this way yesterday, and so then today I was feeling that way too. And I said, you know what? I need to check my physical energy. I know I'm going to the beach soon. It's calling my name, but until in the meantime, I need to handle my physical energy. And let me see what is happening in the chat. Yes, busy periods followed by rest and recharge. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like I am in that period. And it's an interesting period to be in. It doesn't happen often in a person's life. And you're fortunate when you can see it and feel it and understand it and embrace it and receive it. And that's where I'm at right now, for sure. Mm-hmm. Definitely. they and you know what, most people are who they are, and they need to be good with that. I want them to be great with that. And don't nobody talk to right. Yes. So let me tell you, I all right, let's go back to physical energy. So I did also write some additional notes because even though I have my notes from before, of course, things also evolve. I experience new things, and there's new things that I would want to share with you. So I appreciate you, Slasher Chick. All right, let me see. Um, wow, this is something else. I promise you. When you get out of a situation, this is funny. All right, hold on for 1 second. All right, I'm gonna play a little bit of music for you all until I get my notes together. All right. Yeah, I love that too when you can look at your past thoughts and see how they've evolved. Yeah, it's like, hmm. all right, you know what? That was good. That's still good, but I want to add something else because I think this will hit different when you add this. So this is what we're going to add. Um, so when it comes to your work, right? In the context of work environment, your physical energy refers to your body's ability to perform work related tasks and stay active throughout the workday. So if you feel like you're continuously hitting that brick wall, you're not being active. And it impacts factors like productivity, focus, and overall well being. Sufficient physical energy is crucial for employees to perform their duties efficiently and avoid burnout. Ooh, burnout. Look, there's all different types of burnouts. And there's compassion burnout, there's work burnout, there's relationship burnout, there's it could be an environmental burnout just from being at the same place and just feeling like, you know what, this is not supporting my energy. So you definitely want to understand when you are feeling like I can't focus. I don't know what is wrong with me, but I and a lot of people are feeling that way since C19, and they are saying that if they've had C19, that since having it, they hadn't been able to focus as much. And y'all, I remember I had C19 and my family, we and that was when it was like pretty much at the height of it. So all my kids were back home, and I remember my husband got out of the room and I couldn't come out of the bedroom. My son had it too, and he was in his room, and they would just bring food to us and leave it at the door, and we could not leave the room. And so listen, oh my goodness. So my family, my it was my daughters and my husband, they had started leaving me like, I don't even know, like, I guess food they thought I should eat. It wasn't food that I like to eat. And so I would be so hungry. I would, and they would bring me the food, but kind of low key when they wanted to bring me the food. So I was really hungry. So I would text my son. I'd be like, "Did you get any food, or did you get anything you like?" And he would be like, "No, I didn't." And I'm like, "I didn't either." So one day, I in our bedroom is our primary is on the first floor, not too far from the kitchen, right? So I one day heard them leave. I heard the garage and stuff and everything, and I was like, okay, I think they're all gone. Like it was just me and my son, and so I put a hoodie on. I put a hoodie on, I put it over my head, I put my mask on, I put some gloves on, I had some sweatpants, and I don't know why, but I put some Uggs on too, just to go to the kitchen. I'm thinking, let me cover up. And I go in the kitchen and they had all kind of food out there. They had Krispy Kreme donuts. They had all kinds of stuff. And I was like, what? They giving me carrot sticks and tea with no tea bags? Like, wait, what? And they have all this food. So I was trying to gather enough and I was going to take some up to my son. And then I hear the garage door to the house open, and it was my husband. And he was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing out here?" And I was like, "I'm so hungry." Like, I'm just so hungry. And he was like, "You got to get back in that room." Like, girl, y'all, that was the funniest time. Oh my goodness. Well, that moment anyway, but it was no fun having it. And thankfully, my son and I didn't have to get hospitalized or anything. However, I do know after it, for a while after it, it was really hard for me to focus. But there are people that didn't have C19 and they still can't focus. And so they have to check out what their physical energy. And listen, if you had C19 and you can't focus, that is part of your physical energy. It took away a lot of your physical energy. So you have to, be real with that. And so there's things that you can do to help get through that, but you have to recognize it first and understand that it can affect your work, it can affect your relationships, and just your all overall well-being. And so, with your physical, ways that you can improve it would be your diet, and that would be eating a balanced diet and include plenty of complex carbohydrates, lean protein, and healthy fats to help you maintain your stable blood sugar levels. All right. You want to exercise regularly, get physical activity to boost your energy levels by improving your circulation and muscle efficiency. They always talk about standing up, and Apple Watches, they can track that and everything, and they tell you to stand at certain times, but also walk. I never keep a garbage pan or bag or can or whatever you want to call it, a garbage bucket. What, I don't even know what it's called. But I don't keep one of those in my rooms. Like, I don't keep it in my office. I don't keep one in my bedroom because I want to walk. I want to be able to get up and walk to the nearest whatever garbage. If it's right there, especially in my office, some people have their garbage right there at their leg, or they could just roll their chair to it. I want to get up and get out, and that gives me reason. And I don't like to have garbage all around me. So whenever I have a piece of anything, um I get up and I take it right to the garbage. Yeah, it could break my flow a little bit, but if it breaks my flow, it's because my flow needed to be broken at that point. And it gives me, a really good checkpoint time. And you should also set the timer, and it starts with a P. Pomodoro. Pom. Can you put the word slasher chick in the chat, please? Because you have some really good videos where she'll play music for like 25 minutes, and that's the time where you're getting it done, you're getting it in, you're grinding, you're doing whatever project you have to work on, you're checking your emails, you're doing something, and then you stop at 25 minutes and you get up and you walk, you go to the restroom, you get water, you chit chat, you move around, you give yourself a break. And I do that. I do mine for 30 minutes. I have one of those, it's a beautiful sand timer. You can get them at Hobby Lobby. You can order them probably on Amazon or whatever. But mine's is wood and it has the glass with the sand in it. And you turn it, one side, you turn it over, and the sand runs down. And mine's are I know, Pomodoro. Nope, I'm not even saying it right. Pomodoro. Listen, y'all need to go check out Slasher Chicks videos on it because it's really good. I know the word, I know what it means, I know how to do it, and that's all there is to it. So I'm gonna put it right here up on the on the chat. It's late, it's early, it's everything right now. So please give me grace with that. But I set my timer, and I've been using it more diligently here lately. And I turn it, and it's 30 minutes. When it runs out, I know I have to do something else. I have to get up, and I said it right one of those times. At least one of those times when I was trying to pronounce it, one of them was right for sure. I know it. I know it. And so I found that to be, really helpful. It makes my day go by quicker too. I'm like, wait a minute, it's like 3 o'clock. Hold on, I'm getting ready to go. I'll see y'all tomorrow, or maybe not. I don't know. But definitely, doing that. And that could be part of your exercise, getting up. And those steps, they count too. Take the stairs whenever you can. If you park in a parking deck that has a elevator, I know my parking deck has an elevator, take the stairs instead. Walk the parking deck. If you park, say, on the fourth level, walk it. It's like a nice slope and it's good. Walk up that. If you don't want to do stairs, walk up the slope. Also, sleep. Getting enough sleep is essential. Let me tell you, this this challenge, this 90-day challenge has had me up at night. And not up thinking about it or anything like that, but it's having me go to bed late. I am usually in the bed and sleep by 10. And look at it, it's 11:12 right now, and I'm still up, and I should have been asleep. And I don't know why, but since doing it, my energy, it's almost like going to a party. You know how you could be tired, but you go to a party and the energy from the party, it gives you life. And so after the party, you want to go get something to eat, you want to hang out a little bit more because your energy, your metabolism has increased, and you just like, all right, let's do it. What else we got going on? That's it. And so after like my live, after, even going over, checking out Slasher Chicks, taking down notes, doing all kinds of things, I'm up. I'm kind of up after that, and I'm starting to read more. So I want to, at least read a chapter before going to sleep. And next thing I know, it's like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. That's crazy. So yeah, you have the 30-minute hourglass. Okay, good. Yeah, you know what? I was using mines as the core too until probably this week, because what was happening is initially I was trying to use it. This was a few years ago. I was trying to use it, but then I would be so busy, I couldn't tell when the sand ran out. I'd be like, I don't know if it just ran out or been ran out. I can't tell. So it was kind of like, I don't know, fish dead in the water, because it just wasn't serving the purpose I needed it to serve. Because once I turned it, I just wouldn't pay it any attention. But now, because I'm more intentional with doing that method, I'm glancing at it periodically, and I have it within my vision. So between my screen and, what I can see. So I see it when it runs out, and I'm like, all right, cool, here we go. Let's go. I see Jacqueline's Heirloom Vintage and Collectibles is in the building. How are you, Jacqueline? It's so good to see you. How are things going? Jacqueline does really good with, she goes to places like um, Goodwill and I want to call them sustainable stores, where they sell really nice crystals and porcelain and vintage items that she picks up and finds, and beautiful things. And she does lots of videos doing that, thrifting and such. And Slasher Chick Jacqueline does a great job with sharing more information on technology use, mindfulness, and strategies on just how to have that balance and utilize AI. And AI is not going anywhere. I know a lot of people are crying out for it too, but it's not. So if you don't know each other, I highly recommend you check each other out for sure. I'm almost done. I am. I can't believe I'm at day 88. I'm glad you all are speaking. Okay, I hope you get better, Jacqueline. I hope that your recovery is a smooth one and a complete one. That's the thing. We want to have a complete healing. Sometimes when we go through something and other things will start to linger, it's like when one leg hurts, then you don't pay attention to the other leg, and then the other leg starts to have problems, or one thing can lead to another. But I hope that your healing is complete and that your whole body is made whole again for sure. Yeah, she does a really good job with it, and just looking at the prices and knowing what days to go, and just some beautiful pieces. I know looking at her videos made me look into estate sales, and I found some really good estate sales actually in my neighborhood. And let me tell y'all, I got some beautiful crystal glasses that I gifted, made, what do they call it? It's a trunk. I forget what they call it, but I prepared it for my daughters. So my one daughter, she had taken her glasses with her to her apartment in Atlanta, and they're just really nice that you don't see. Oh, you do see, but they cost an arm and a leg. Um outside of a state sale. And I just couldn't believe all the things that were being sold. I mean, they were literally selling everything in the home. So it was really cool. Okay, yes, she's a good one. You're welcome. You're welcome, Jacqueline. Absolutely. And Jacqueline and I have been connected, at least I want to say, since C19, so probably 3 or 4 years for sure. So it's good people. And also, you want to stay hydrated. And some people get hospitalized because they're dehydrated. They don't know what's going on. I remember my center daughter years ago, she was really sick, and we could not figure it out. Like, what is wrong? She was so lethargic and nauseous and just really sick. So we took her to the emergency room, and it turned out that she was dehydrated. So they had to give her IV fluids and everything. And once she got the fluids in her system, she was 100% better. So I would recommend, first thing in the morning, drinking at least 8 ounces of water before you even start your day good, just to get jump started with it. They say you should drink, whatever your weight is, half of that in ounces every day. So, start off with that 8 solid, and then throughout the day, again, I have this big half gallon, but I found that that made me lazy because you fill that up once in the morning and then probably once late afternoon, and there you go. But you're not walking. So I typically will have a smaller type of cup so that I can kind of keep getting up and down to get water. And where my new office is, y'all, they have that good ice. Mm, and that is just so no bueno for me. But they have, I mean, it's like the best good ice too. It's so soft. You can even hear how soft it is when it falls into your cup. It sounds like snow hitting the ground. You know how like a heavy snow, and if it's quiet outside and you're walking, you can kind of hear it hitting the ground a little bit, just a little bit. That's how the ice sounds when it hits the cup. What? So, but I, get up periodically, but stay hydrated because that is going to be very, very important. Dehydration can zap your energy levels. Make sure you drink plenty of it, and not sodas, not coffee. I drink 1 cup of coffee every day. I do. Um, but that doesn't count towards your water count at all. All right. So, it just understand that physical energy refers to the ability of your body to perform physical actions, and it's the feeling of strength and stamina that allows you to be active throughout the day. And I want to share this with you all real quick. It's the chart. Hopefully when I put it up here, it'll be okay. Let me see. It's really small on my end, but it's something I want you to do. And maybe you can take a screenshot of it or jot it down real quick. It's only 3 rows and 5 or 6 columns. So basically, you want to rate yourself by what your work environment, your home environment, physical being, well-being, and you want to rate it 1 to 5, 1 being poor and 5 being excellent. And your home also can also do some damage on your physical energy if your home is cluttered, if you have not one but several junk drawers of just junk, if you have an overflow of mail, of junk mail, if you need to buy new sheets, you may need to spruce up your room. We're in a new season right now. It's the beginning of summer. Summer was literally last week, the first day of summer. We're getting into the new fiscal year. July 1 starts the new fiscal year for FY25. We if you're doing the 4 quarters per year, the 12-week year, you're entering into a new 12 weeks if you started in January. So you want to be very mindful. We're in the second half of the year, of the calendar year. Like there's a lot of things that we are approaching, and you need to look around and see, what do I need to declutter? What do I need to get rid of? What haven't I touched in over a year? I may not need that. I need to donate that. When you are changing out your closet, every time when the seasons come, I don't necessarily change out my closet, but I rearrange things. And if there's something that, I've been waiting for the past 10 years to fit back into, listen, by the time I can fit back into it, first of all, my body frame will have changed. So it's not even going to hit the same. And 10 years, come on, stop playing. So listen, you just do something more productive with that. There's plenty of places that would get joy out of it for sure. So definitely look into that. And if you need to declutter your home, if you need to spruce it up, if you need to, make it more minimalist so that you can have a clearer vision, you don't want to come home and from work, or from even working out, from going to the store, you don't want to come in, if you went to grocery shopping and your kitchen's a mess when you come back, you don't want to go wash your clothes and your laundry room is in disarray. You don't want to go to bed at night and your bed is unmade. That's one thing. First thing when I get out of my bed is we make the bed, because That's not the move to come back and it's not made. So those are some things to consider. But look at that chart and you should consider ways of how you can improve if you're at ones and twos in any of those three columns. You need to ask yourself, well, what can I do that can improve that? What can I do that will make things better? you know um because you definitely want to improve, and the only thing that can improve is you and you making changes in your life. So I want you to think about that. I want you to rate those three items and make sure that those environments are tidy and welcoming. Are you cluttered and disorganized? Do you take care of yourself? Are you eating well? Are you getting plenty of exercise, water, rest, self-care? What do you need help in? So I hope that this video, this session, let's say, has been helpful to you to give you something to think about. Oh, good. You can expand it when you can see it better when you expand. Thank you. My brother, that's my brother. How you doing? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I hope you're doing well and I hope that you're healing too. I love you. Wow. That's my big brother. Will, chill Will. Shelly B in the building. Thank you for saying hi to him, Slasher Chick. And thank you for reminding him for sure. And everyone else to give this video a thumbs up if you've received a nugget or two. And let me know, what is your nugget on your physical energy and how is your physical energy? Let me know. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. And that might be something you can incorporate in one of your planners that you have, Slasher Chick, as well. It's really good. That physical energy is no joke. Listen, we only have one body, we have one set of eyes, one nose, one set of ears, you know, 2 feet, 2 hands. We got to take care of what we have, and it'll take care of us. The more we take care of it, the more it will take care of us. And as I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to me too. So don't think I'm just pointing it out. This is my accountability moment as well. But I appreciate you all for being in the building. I love my brother. Look at him. And you listen, he don't even realize, Sheldon, you don't have to put your name. We can see it. Like, you don't have to do that. But thank you. And I get it and I love it. No problem. So I appreciate everyone for rocking with me. And listen, I'm on this journey and I'm not new to it. I am absolutely true to it. And that's why I am celebrating my Sweet 16 on June 30th. I have had this YouTube channel for 16 years, been a content creator for over 4, and it's been my pleasure sharing all this information with you. I hope that you got some value out of it. And again, let me know, even if you are watching this on the replay, let me know, what are you going to do to increase and improve your physical energy? How are your scores? How are you doing? Yeah, I do too. Slasher Chick. Oh my goodness. Oh. And so, especially to you, Sheldon, I appreciate you for being in here tonight. But everyone, I do hold you all so dear. Remember, practice every day. And I'm so serious when I say this. Practice every single day. See how you can improve. If you have a weakness, see how that can be better. But don't forget your strengths either. Continue to practice, because when you get in, it's so important for you to get in and win. It's been my pleasure. I am Coach Sherry.